Hey guys, what's up? Zach Calhoun here from CloudPano.com. Hope you're doing well today. I'm honored and privileged and humbled today to present to you this interview I did with Jacob from the South Sudan Healthcare Organization. He is using CloudPano.com to create 360 virtual tours of health camps, tents, and supplies that is supplying people in the South Sudan region, and he's recording what they are creating, doing, and how their health process is being rolled out, boots on the ground, using the CloudPano 360 virtual tour software. We got connected through a user named Stephen Farrell. He's a CloudPano user out of Baltimore. He has his friend Jacob runs this organization that helps serve as a nonprofit people in South Sudan. He sends a camera over to South Sudan. They take some photos in 360, send those photos back to Steve digitally. He's telling me this story, and then I get to actually see the virtual tour, and I was blown away, shocked, amazed that CloudPano's 360 virtual tour technology is being utilized to help raise money for a nonprofit that serves people that are in direct need in South Sudan. The story that you get to hear today from Jacob, the CEO and founder of SSHCO, which is South Sudan Healthcare Organization. His story is incredible. He loses his parents at 7 years old. He has to hike 2,000 miles to get to a safe place to live. He makes it over to America. He works his way up the educational system, and now he's given everything he can back to the place he came from. We are seeing digitally and virtually through innovation, through CloudPano, the actual effect he's having on the people. There is so many stats he shares in the basic itemized needs, and his current goals for money he's raising are so low, but he knows directly where every dollar is going. And this is why it's so amazing. I want you to take a moment, watch this entire interview, pay attention to Steve Farrell, who's out of Baltimore, who's just a normal drone photographer, a normal virtual tour provider, a normal entrepreneur who said, you know what, I bet you I can have impact in an innovative way and help this guy, my friend named Jacob. Let me see what I can do. Through this idea, he now has empowering Jacob to show off, boots on the ground, what's really happening in South Sudan, what he's really doing with his nonprofit. And these virtual experiences he's showing off are helping share their story, share their impact, and raise more money so that they can have more impact. It's an actual, I'm just blown away. I mean, I literally cry on this interview because I just recognize how blessed we are in America and how blessed I am in Texas, how we, with our families and the health care access we have access to, the basic needs that we have access to. Those are not always, not everyone has these same needs met. One of his itemized needs are rubber gloves. Do you think we can provide him some rubber gloves? I think we can. Women are dying during birth. Kids are dying from basic medical needs that are all preventable just through resources that they need provided there. The amount of impact this man is having through his organization is absolutely incredible. And I think the reason why his fundraising goals are so low is because right now he just wants to help serve the people. He's not building a building yet. He has a grand vision. He wants to build some infrastructure. It's none of that. Right now they have tents. And on this video, in this interview, he shows the tents that Stephen Farrell put together on CloudPano. The tents they are serving people's needs in. In a similar tent, they're having babies in a tent. That just got me deep, man. It got me right here in my heart. Because I just had a kid 5 weeks ago, my third boy. And he had a warm hospital to be born in, you know. So you need to take a moment of your life, okay? Take an hour of your life and listen to this interview, okay? Do that for me. It will have deep impact on who you are, and it'll make you question, what is life? What is my life? What is my money? One day I'm going to die. Doesn't really matter if I have a huge bank account in there, if I'm dead, if I can't use it. And you'll hear me reference, your money's dead in the account, bro. It makes a little bit of interest. Honestly, it's dead. It's doing nothing there. It's holding value, but it's not creating value. So today you have an opportunity to create value. I'm going to encourage you at the end of the video with some links below this video to take a moment and to give. It's going directly to moms in need in South Sudan who are having babies in tents. If you are a human being and you hear that truth, that reality, and you see these tents, these virtual tours on this video, and you do not take action, question who you are as a human. You need to do that, okay? When you listen to this interview, whether you're in your car or you're at your home or in your office, at the end of the interview, I want you to stop what you're doing, take a moment, and give to this guy. It's going to shock you how little he is asking for and how exact the needs he atomizes out. And his passion and his vision, gosh, it's amazing. Like you can convert your hard work and effort of what you do every day into impact. Yes, you can still eat at a nice restaurant. Yes, you can still live a great life here in America. And I want you to do that. I want you to hustle. And I want our entrepreneurs at CloudPano to make a ton of freaking money. But I was talking to a friend this morning and I realized we need to make more money so we can give more back and give more away. And this is an opportunity, a direct channel to help a group of people in need. Wow, amazing. Your money can do more than in the bank account. It really can. So watch this interview, question what is your life, you should, and what is your money just sitting there, and then take a moment and give some away. The practice of letting some of it go will bring a healthy practice into your heart, into your soul, into your mind that will actually make acquiring and going out and getting money in the future for your entrepreneurial work and efforts more attainable and easier. It's not going to attract money to you. It's not a give and take thing. But by letting go of what you have and not holding too tightly to it, the flow of that is a healthy practice that's good for your heart and it's good for your soul. Okay? So again, watch this interview. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this organization. And Jacob, as you watch this, thank you so much for letting me share your story. I am just in shock and awe. I'm rocked to my core that CloudPano is able to help and serve you guys in a direct way. We're very excited for you and for how you grow this organization and who you help and who you serve, and being able to see that impact on our software, on virtual tour software, CloudPano, is amazing. So I hope you enjoyed the interview. I'll see you at the end. I'll leave a big slide up that says, here's how you give. Scan it, give it. What else you got to do with your life? What is your life? It ain't much if you don't use it for something more bigger than yourself. Okay? All right. I love you. I thank you. Let's get to the interview. You sound great to me anyway.
Yes. If it is okay with you, Zach, maybe I will do my African tradition. I heard great things about you, and this is our first time meeting. So to help me, I think it's part of the story. I guess we can tell me is we, the African, like to at least know each other and introduce briefly. I'm excited what you did. We both are inspired, but just kind of giving me a perspective in a snapshot, like where are you coming from, how you get this vision of the cloud world, and so anyway, a little bit of that.
Sure.
Yeah, just for my knowledge.
Great. Let's start there. So my name is Zach Calhoun. I'm out of Houston, Texas. I'm a software entrepreneur, right? So CloudPano.com is our software company. And years ago, we started it with the idea of we want to make it really easy for folks to create virtual tours online. Now, in the world of the virtual tour world, what does that mean? It's kind of this broad term. Essentially, what we ended up doing is building a platform, a software platform, where any entrepreneur, any real estate person, any property manager, anybody, any photographer who wants to upload 360 photos into the platform and make an experience, they can. So historically, that was a lot of real estate tours because a lot of people that was a high demand in real estate. So then as COVID came, as the pandemic hit, people had to go virtual for a lot of different industries, or they were forced to think about it.
Mm,
We basically exploded. Okay, so like
wow. I
there was
like it.
this. Yeah, yeah, it's really cool. And what's really neat from our side is we serve a lot of entrepreneurs. So an entrepreneur, in my mind, is someone who it can creatively create value for someone. And in our case, the vehicle or the tool for that is 360 virtual tours or CloudPano, the software. And our entrepreneurs can private label it. They put their business name on it. So CloudPano kind of sits in the background. So we like to partner alongside our entrepreneurs, really be helpful in that way.
Wow.
So during that journey, I noticed a new need of folks needing like help with marketing and business and sales. And so I created this whole program that helps folks
Wow.
do that. Well, Steven joined it, got some value from it, and he's doing well. And he's got his drone business, his virtual tour business, other stuff that he's doing. And
Fantastic.
so that's how we connected, as he's making sales, et cetera. And I'm trying to help wherever I can, of course. And then what happened a few weeks ago was we were on one of our weekly calls. So we have this higher level program. We have weekly calls. And he told me about you guys and what y'all are doing. And he showed me the virtual tour that was created in is it South Sudan or where it's located?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I was looking at like 360 photos in a virtual tour on CloudPano of tents and of like supplies that hit the ground. And I was blown away,
And
because I got to see like, wow, like this is like, whoa, wait a minute. So people are sending supplies and help in an organization that's trying to help people in remote areas. And they're using CloudPano to show off their work so that they can increase their resources and send more resources to them. I'm amazed.
yes,
I was in
yes.
shock. So it's just like, so I'm still kind of in shock about it, to be honest. I would love to hear, I would love to hear how you got from where you are, where you
Yeah.
started, where you are now. That would really help a lot of us, actually, I think, on the call as well, too. So,
Yeah.
go ahead, get us
Oh,
going.
you are now inspiring me because can I get a opportunity can you make me a co-host? I want to show you something briefly.
Sure, absolutely. I can make you.
But I think to get to what you are, just a brief background as one of the Lost Boys. I think it was in 2013 where I took a missionary to South Sudan. Almost lost my life. I had to be rescued by the US military. But the passion, whether it's in private sector, let me
Go ahead.
try
Yep.
to make
Oh,
this.
cool. I like the presentation. Roll us through it, bro. Show me the
Yeah,
deck.
yes, that's right. Present. Present. Okay. But you mentioned something like the cool part is you got it. That was our mission to send Steve to send somebody, because you raise $1 here or there, we're all about accountability. But how often would our donors, Americans, would travel there? Not everybody is meant to travel, but them seeing that is authentic it could get.
Yeah.
It's the most brutal, and it made me think many ways. How many hospitals do we have? We're talking about 10. So, brother, this is and another part is what I call hybrid. I don't have to be there, or you don't have to be there, but through technology, you can view in and show exactly what people are saying. So it's connecting the two worlds, which is in 2013, where I realized it was difficult for me to go back. So I have hybrid virtual working, and this is part of the hybrid working. So briefly, in a crash course, I grew up in Africa, with beautiful village called Mar in South Sudan. I lived by the Nile, and the life was beautiful. And unfortunately, that life was taken away from me when I was an orphan at age 6 or 7. And I said 6 or 7. I don't know when I was actually born. We just said it's a big year, like coming up September 11. It's a year you were born. But the life was beautiful. And unfortunately, the Northern Sudanese army came and obliterated the whole village, losing my parents. And in summary, I had to trek and walking to different countries like Ethiopia, Kenya, eventually resettled in the US. But the walk was a treacherous journey. It's not an easy walk. It's full of obstacle and difficulties, from no water to drinking your own urine, to eating mud, to eating leaves, to being pursued by the military, and you don't know when you're going to stop. And we're talking about a distance, if you calculate the distance of walking from Atlanta, Georgia to LA, that is estimated to be 2,000 miles. So that's a little bit of me. Here we say we bring health and hope to where it is lost. This is our mission. And you can see, as one of the Lost Boys, we I grew up without healthcare. When I came to the U.S. to Michigan, I was first resettled with the Lutheran Social Services of Michigan, and this is my first time actually receiving medical care, my childhood vaccination, everything. So this actually inspired us to give back. And some of the scriptures that really influenced me, one is, for whom much is given, much is required. And this is where I realized the thing that I went through. I'm in America. I may not be rich, but I could give back because healthcare is a commodity. So the second verse, and this is really one of my favorite, I do it for me. This is like a summary of why we do this. And this is in James 2. And just every time I read at it, it's challenging me, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's when you say, what is it? What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith but has no deeds? Can such faith save them? Suppose a brother or a sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to them, go in peace, keep warm and well fed, but does nothing about their physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. So let's contextualize this. Saying it, having a vision is one thing. I think you had a different vision when you co-found your organization. There's a reason you had that. But what is Steve was able to do to be innovative and we actually sent Kevin with the devices. That is an action. It's not a dream. It's not saying, oh, yeah. Oh, we feel bad for the people of South Sudan. No, you gotta do it. I don't want to copy Nike here. You have to do it. So we are all about action. And this is to me and say, who am I to come to this country? I have a great healthcare despite the difficulty. I could get sick right now and go to hospital. You see, if you work there, and I get access to that, whether who's paid for it or not, it's a different case. But the key here is whether you are a man of faith or not man of faith is action. But should we just say, oh, they are out of luck? Good luck, South Sudanese people? No. And this is what make me, this scripture here is a gist of why I co-found this organization, to challenge myself, and I hope it challenge others in this world to do good. You didn't just dream to say, oh, I would like to have a software to be an entrepreneur. Yeah, that's a great dream. But you actually did action. You got some move. You got to get going. It's the same concept. Should we just say we are very blessed in America that we are rich, that we cannot help these people? If I deserve a healthcare in America, why shouldn't the people of South Sudan deserve that? So the key is bringing health and hope where it is lost. My brother, this is the background. Last July, not only with COVID, not only with conflict, South Sudan was hit with flooding. Half of the country is flooded. So this, you can see this is how the Tukul are in my village. So in that sense, people were immigrated. So we actually constructed a clinic in a place called Mar, South Sudan. And then it was flooded, although it's not affected. We're talking about massive displacement. So 96,000 people were displaced in this place called Mangala. Mangala is where your device was used. Mangala is where you will see soon is where 96,000, think of 96,000 people in one place is overcrowded.
Mhm.
And then we start responded. And you can see here where Mangala is, you remember the 10, we start responded to provided basic health services. We were the first organization to be there with our clinical staff. That's Kevin who took the 360 tour when he
Mhm.
was there. And this is us bringing health and hope where it is lost. Nobody would have thought that you're giving essential medicine in the tree. I mean, under the tree and in a desert place like that.
Mm.
So we are in Mar, we in Juba. Our focus really right now is women health. We maternal mortality rate is highest in the whole world, and a country that without a woman being healthy, it's a country of no growth. You're not going to be able to grow to have a nation. It is the eighth worst infant mortality rate in the whole world. So 1 in 7 pregnant women face risk of death. 75% of child deaths due to preventable diseases like diarrhea, malaria, and pneumonia. Think about it. How often do we think of, oh, I'm going to die from malaria today or diarrhea? And so this is what we were showing. And I think you saw in that footage of not just only saying this is statistics, it's actually showing the picture, the 10, where we are providing these health services. This is a new 10, and in fact, we are going to work on more equipment. Everything is technology, and why your software is important with what Steve does. It's one thing to give the statistic like I did. It's great. Some people are visually, but to have that 360 tour, it literally show where the dollar is worth. Your money is going to see these people. So we just had the new
Yep.
10, and that we just again focusing on women health. And look at this statistics, very low. Only 12% of mothers are seen by the skilled birth attendants. That means we have shortages of nurses, doctors, midwife. So that means 88%. It's missing. We want to increase more skilled birth attendant, more people who are qualified to do that. What again, the 360 captured is the physical location you see when these massive 96,000 people came. There was a lot of lack of everything. Okay, they didn't have a clean water. Here are the mothers talking about the needs of what they want. So here's the timeline. They got displaced to this 96,000 IDP camp that we use at 360. And then they were explaining their needs. I'm not a woman, but when I was looking, they were saying a woman could give a birth for 7 days without a shower. And they feel bad. So they were requesting us to say a well for a clean water, a soap. These are simple things that we take for granted for the newborn shower for women, a delivery bed and gloves and a doctor and the medicine. And here it is, like I have a new update yesterday. We did a fundraising and we actually show the 360 tour. We did a fundraising here in Gainesville. And this demand, some of them are met. Yesterday, we were able to send the money and bought like the delivery beds. And so again, we are driven by action. The action without technology, the key here is the donors are like blind. But what brings the transparency is the technology such as yours. Full transparency. You can't sugarcoat it. You're seeing the pictures.
Yep.
And now we are actually equipping it. And now we were talking, me and Steve, we are going to do another 360 tour, and be able to do that. But again, this is a snapshot of those people who might say, hey, I've been contributing. How do I know that my money is going where it needed to be? Well,
Yeah.
just look at it. It's just, what do they say? They say it's pictures speak 1,000 words. I guess your device we can
A
say
million words,
your
right?
many words. Um, but
Wow.
right now you talk about help, my brother. We have a passion. Our vision is very, very straightforward. We need 113,000 to really focus to help to bring health and hope to our mothers and our children. Now we were able to get around less than 20,000. So we this number would change. As we speak, we need about 94,000. And I think this thing can be done because the needs are great. It's just it need more supporters. It need more people that need help. Anyway, I think I'm going to stop right here. I hope it give you an idea. Steve, I will give the virtual mic to you so that I think you are getting the sense of where we at. Yeah.
Leave this slide up. Leave this slide up if you don't mind, Jake. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm over here crying.
No problem.
I just had a boy 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
In a Queen hospital.
Yes.
With a nurse, a doctor,
yes.
with all the stuff you need.
Yes. And brother, the reason I get emotional on top of it, I have 3 boys.
Me too.
And I don't want to be, oh, you have 3 boys?
Yeah.
And this, I get so passionate where, let's be grateful. You're right. My 3 boys will never understand what it means to be concerned and die from diarrhea or malaria. My wife, I thank God, the last son, I witnessed something that what killed most women is hemorrhage, is bleeding, and lack of transportation. And I don't know, if my wife was giving birth or your wife, we are worried about being a single dad by default to be able to raise the kids, because most likely you see those statistics. And once we put this into perspective, it make us do what we do. And think about it. I'm in health. You guys are in technology. This is where technology and health meet to do the impact. And this is a teamwork because you are adding value to show from a different angle. I could talk about statistics all day, but in today's age, seeing those 360 tour coupled with this, I don't see why we shouldn't help these people in South Sudan. But it's just being authentic, and it takes time for us to, now you're making me to go cry again. It's just to make things, but this is being authentic. And for you to even understand this, because in many business, let's be honest, if you're making profit and you don't have a heart of Christ and heart of that, of helping others, when you're blessed, you ought to bless others. There's so many people who are rich, I know. Don't get me wrong, but if you most likely be blessed in your business when you bless others. So Steve, brother, I want to just shut up and let you go. Virtual mic.
Well, let me.
That's going to be cut out.
It's okay. Let me. We're not cutting anything out. I want to make a couple comments or observations about this. Number one, when I first saw this virtual tour, and I think Steve mentioned there was 5 of them, and he was basically the story was he sent over a 360 camera. It was the Ricoh Theta V. It was just sitting in Steve's drawer. He said, "Hey, why don't I send this over?" They put it in the mail. They sent it over, and it's already sent back. He took the photos, created the virtual tours of the 5 different, I guess, locations. So I got to see one. Inside one of those tents, I see a not only, first off, we're outside and you don't see anything. There's no buildings. There's nothing to see. Okay. Yes. So in my world, there's nothing out there. Okay. So it's like, holy cow. First off, that's apparent. And when you do a 360 and you move it on your screen and you look around, you go, okay, I have a pretty good feel for the setting. Like there's no person behind the camera with like a big building and a bunch of resources. There's no resources. Okay. So like this is my first thought. My second thought was we go inside the tent. So you click a hotspot and it takes you inside of the next photo in 360. And there's a pile of supplies in one of this tent. And you could see like what you could read the labels. And my thought immediately to Steve was this: if I'm a donor, my number one question, the back of my mind is my money really going there? Like, is it really going to make a difference? You know, I may feel good for a moment, but man, there's a percentage of my brain, my mind, my heart that's just like, I don't know for sure. Like, how much are they taking off the top of this, et cetera. And because we've been exposed to a lot of charities out there who ask for a lot of money. And then when they publicly share their budget, a lot of it goes to the CEO or it goes to the management or it goes to places you really don't want your money to go to. The whole purpose of you giving your money away is so that those who cannot have access to those resources can immediately have access to them. That's the main goal. It may make you feel good, but it makes you feel bad if you give your money away to somebody and you know that a large percentage, 60% of it's not going to the right location, maybe more. And so like, I'm not trying to like dog other organizations. There's plenty of good ones out there. I recognize that. But if we're to be honest right now, Jacob, your request for $113,000 only just shows it to me. It shows like, this is the real deal, people. Like if you're looking right now, watching this video and you want to have an effect on the world, scan the barcode, okay? Give $5, give $100, give $1,000. What's it going to make a difference? The difference is you'll be able to see where the money goes. You'll be able to see it boots on the ground. And I want to show that in a moment. Steve, I want you to be able to show in a second what we're talking about. But like I'm sitting there saying to myself, $113,000, and they don't have gloves or medical care or doctors or like people are dying from preventable diseases. Like, what are you doing with your money, bro? In your savings account? Like you're earning interest right now on your interest. Is the interest you're earning right now on the money in your bank account 1% or something? Like I have a savings account. It don't earn no dang interest, bro. There's no emergency fund. There's no emergencies coming. I have an emergency fund. There's no emergencies coming. Okay, there's just not. Okay, like it ain't happening. It exists. I guess my point is like, it's dead money, right? Yes. But it ain't dead money when it's being used for something good. You don't have to give away all your money. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like, this is how I'm processing this, is that there is women in the world giving birth and they are requesting gloves. That's one of the requests that made the bullet point. Like, that's what freaked me out a second ago. It's like, they need gloves? That's it? Like you can't tell me that's not the best itemized bullet point you've ever seen in your life. And one of the lowest numbers I've ever seen for a fund. $113,000. Are you kidding me? I'll need $1 million. Like I'm just being honest. You probably should raise the number up higher because there's no reason why you shouldn't make that. And my hope is that if you're watching this video, which not the whole world's not going to see it, but here's the deal: those that do see it have an opportunity, have a chance in this moment to like literally just scan the barcode, like just go, And if you're listening on a podcast, or I don't know where I'm going to post this later, sshco.org/donate. So that's SS Sam H Henry Hank. So sshco.org/donate. Okay, if you can't spell that, it's okay. We come to the YouTube channel.
And then you have the you have the barcode that goes to the link directly. By the way, the more you talk, I'm inspired, man. I'm coming to Houston. You say Houston?
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Because you just hit the key, brother. We are very authentic. You like prophesizing, because I quit Hopkins, which is a very good institution, to come here. And I'm not gonna go in detail, but one of our things is money goes where we said it's be. It's not about Jacob, whether you have a PhD or not. We are transparent about the little we get, if any, but everything goes there. Just to give a perspective, whatever we raise, it was on August 28th, we already used that money to buy beds. And we know we have more to go. We itemize that. That's the best thing. So Steve, take it away. Me
I
and
don't even
Zach,
know how
we
to
could go
follow
all
this.
day. I
Wait,
could
we
see
probably could. We probably could. Hey,
I
Steve,
would too. Thank you, brother.
do me a favor, Steve. I want you to pull up this tour, this virtual tour.
Let
So
me
people,
stop. Do you want me to stop sharing?
yeah, I'm gonna let Steve share his screen because he can share up one of the tours he's made.
Yeah, and walk
whatever
us
one you
through
want.
this. This is so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is
sure,
really cool.
sure. And I don't know, I've heard Jacob's story multiple times. Every time it just gets me, and I don't know, it's just overwhelming in so many ways, and I don't even know how to follow this. I'm like, I'm Steve. I do some stuff. I'm not crying. You're crying.
Well, let's talk about the tour. Then we'll talk about your business, what you're doing. Absolutely, because it's important for people to know, like, you're a normal guy, Steve. Like, that's it. You're a normal guy. I mean, you are a good guy. You got a family. You're a normal guy. You live in Baltimore, right?
Yes.
All of us have this tendency to look at ourselves and say, "Oh, I'm just a normal guy. Who am I? You know, like, who am I to like have an effect on the world? You know." And in this interview right now, I feel like you're having an effect on the world in a big way. So just recognize that, like, for you, Steve, and for anyone who's watching this, like, don't talk yourself down. You know, you never know what can happen. So Steve, share your screen, bro. I made the screen sharing options available to everybody, I think. So click that big green button. It should work. I want to see this virtual tour and show people what we're talking about. And if you're a nonprofit out there and you're kind of inspired by this, like, I want to do this too. It's like, you know, I would love to. Obviously, y'all to use CloudPano, but you don't have to. There's other softwares out there that do this. Ours is the best. But here's how it works. Steve, in this case, send a camera over. That camera takes 360 photos. It just makes it super easy. You put it on a stand, you press a button, it just does it for you. There's a lot of complicated technology out there. The reality is you don't have to be complicated. Keep things simple, okay? When you upload those photos to CloudPano, it knows it's a 360 photo. It centralizes the viewer, wraps the image around it, and what Steve's going to share is what it looks like. I'm trying to give you commentary here, but you share that screen, pull that up. I'm trying to bridge the gap.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'll share my screen here, and I mean, you hit it nail on the head. So many times there, so many things were said that are just completely and utterly true. So anyway, this is one of the tours here, and Jacob, you can help me kind of navigate through this. But yeah, you said having the confidence just to do something and just to go, and you know, even if you don't think you can do it, I urge you to just start doing. For instance, I started off with a Insta 360-1X. And it's a great camera to get started, and so is this one too, the Theta V, and I still use it, obviously. But yeah,
go ahead and click publish so we can see the whole immersive, because we're the editor right now. So publish this thing so I can.
My bad. My bad. Publish.
Wow, this is amazing. It's the kind of, so tell us, talk.
And while you are doing that, so we have 3 mobile clinics. This is one of the site. It's called the Riverside in Mangala, South Sudan. And that tent, we received that from United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR. And this is the best thing we could get when the disaster hit is what we have.
Cool. So what are we looking at right here? Like obviously this is a small tent. We're inside of it. Like what supplies are we looking at here? Like, I know it looks like medicine, I guess, but tell me just the basics here. Like, I don't even know. You know, I don't know what I'm looking at.
So we are looking at essential medicine, and as you can see, the blue table, we don't have a bed or a pharmacy. So this is what we call him, a clinical officer who is standing with the SSHCO chart. Can you go down? That is an SSHCO actual registered nurse. You are seeing someone writing, that is a clerk. And so what happened is people come in and they write their name. This is like a consultation. They write their name and then they will be seen by the nurse. And everything is right there. So whatever the essential medicine you have will be prescribed and it will be given to you. But the first step is you come in and register and diagnose and take your medicine. Since it's emergency, you have to do it in one small table. Think about when you go to the hospital, what we see, the different pharmacy. If you go to the left with the, yeah, right there, keep going to the left. That is
Left.
Yai with the, Yai is our field officer right there. And that's Kevin who, uh, Steve sent with this 360 camera, and he's the one that did that from America. And Kevin right now went and executed this mission, and he's now in medical school.
Oh, great! So he's making a difference in the world.
Yes.
Yeah, and,
So
and, and
cool.
keep in mind that he was actually sending me these photos. I didn't wait till the camera got back. He was sending me the photos there once he was either connected to Wi-Fi or had a good connection. And I was editing them here in the U.S. and I had them published almost maybe an hour later than he took them.
That's amazing. So Steve's business is called Clover Sky Media. So if you guys want to, use him for this type of tech or consulting or like to get this rolling, I highly recommend going to cloverskymedia.com. Right? Is that the correct website?
Yeah, cloverskymedia.com, and I'm on Instagram and everything. So interestingly enough, I'm going through kind of a rebrand and relaunch because over the pandemic, we've adapted so many more things to help out businesses in different, like, kind of creative ways, this obviously being one of them. So, I created a new logo and things like that. So I'm in a transition phase, but nevertheless, we have things that we're actually doing, and I would be glad to consult anyone who wants to get involved in just either something like this or even brainstorming for something else. So, and clearly I'm always available if there's ever a need for any creative digital content to be created. So yeah.
He'll do it for you guys. Okay. So you're watching this video, you're thinking, how do I get started with all this? Like, just reach out to Steve, man. He'll hook you up. He knows all the tech, all the steps.
And I want to emphasize the technology here. We are talking about the Republic of South Sudan. South Sudan is a new nation which was co-founded, actually was gained its independence on July 4th, 2011. So I want to point out the infrastructure in this country when it comes to technology is very limited. So for us to even pull this out, to send with the technology with a limited connectivity, because Mangala is a big IDP that it has 96,000 internally displaced people. We call them IDP. It's just north of Juba, and it takes about 45 minutes to drive there. So the good news is Kevin, who Steve sent, went to Mangala, did all this comeback, and was able to upload it into Sky. I think maybe he sent it to Steve, right? And then right there, it's for publish. Now our thought was we do it and maybe come back where there's no connectivity. So now we are connecting digitally the whole world. Okay,
that's true.
So this is
I love this one. This is the one I saw originally, and I was just amazed by.
So this is the main one. It's called the Highway Clinic. Let me put in perspective. We see almost 100 patients, 100 children under the age of 5 a week in this one. We also see literally over 100 patients for those who are 5 years old and above. This is literally our main one. This is the main clinic here. You will see if you go slow, that's the midwife. As you can see, is taking a photo. That's a Yoro. Continue. Keep going.
Let me go back to these other people here.
Yeah, this is one of our registered nurse. His name is Pandak. This is the next to him is Alak, who is the overall clinical officer for the operation in Mangala. And then you have Yai, and I have another clinical officer, Conan Yes, who is in charge of all this. Now, and then you have Kevin. So behind a lock with the white shirt, look at that. That's where they are entering the tent.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the biggest tent compared to the Riverside. This tent is provided by the Ministry of Health. But look at the sign there. You see that is WHO. Go back a little bit where to the
sorry,
left.
I thought you wanted to go with that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you will see the sign there on the carton is WHO. It's World Health Organization. Think of this again. This is the best clinic we could have. And if we compare it to our US system, it's totally different, significantly different, because this is emergency. On the left-hand side, we request some of the medication from the Ministry of Health. Sometimes we buy our own medication and you bring them there. What is consistent here is the table, this table for the drugs, and then the table for consultation. That's where Ayora is actually in. I don't know if you can see where, right there. That is her consultation, and you will see the notebook, which is for registration. So what happened is this clinic is where we bring our supplies, and the other two clinic, we really, it become an outreach. We send them when it is necessary. But this is the best thing we could have. Why is this significant? Why is this significant? Is to show our donors where the money is, and also to show the difficulties and the condition that our healthcare staff work at. I think they are the heroes, because think about our regular doctor who went to school for 4 years and be able to work in this condition. But this is the best thing you have. Now, you move to other side. I haven't seen, is this Gary? This is the second outreach. Is this Gary?
I believe so. Yeah. Oh, we're back.
No. This is Highway. This is our main clinic in Highway. So let's just stop there. So Zach, you said this is your favorite. Elaborate more. What do you see? I'm just describing the scenario, but go back to that Highway thing. Why did you say you like it? What was going on in your mind?
Sure, that's a great question. So when we started outside right here, like I see this anthill over here, right?
Yeah.
So this is like the things in the background that like spark my brain immediately is that this is in Africa, right? So this is not some like fake thing where I'm like some towns nearby, or like I could. So this right here was a big one. This one was huge for me. Both of these, this whole place was huge. Like
so not to cut you short, Zach. So what you are seeing here is a good observation. Here, the white thing, those are mosquito nets.
Okay.
So because malaria is a big problem, so those were the mosquito nets. These big boxes actually, and you can see the label, are anti-malaria drugs. And because the first things happened, so remember they were displaced because of flooding. So they need the mosquito nets. And these drugs were donated by the Ministry of Health because of because of the malaria drugs, anti-drugs. Actually, they just ran out. So go ahead. That's what you are seeing there.
Yeah. So this is a great example. Like, so as a possible donor who lives in a suburban area of Houston, Texas, okay, like I look outside, I have a window behind me, I see my truck, I see beautiful houses, and it's a beautiful day, actually. There's no clouds out. It's a wonderful place to live, you know, and my kids play outside, my kids play with other kids. If they get sick, we go right to the hospital or a doctor, or we give them, you know, whatever they need, right? Basically, it's an infinite resource situation. Like the infrastructure of my home, where I live, the police are here, et cetera. Like there is no worry of malaria. There's no worry of diarrhea, right? We have just Pepto-Bismol, you know, like we have like basic medication, right? So I guess, I know I'm kind of laughing about that, but it's because it's almost laughable that I'm really how blessed we are, right? For number one. Number two is how I feel like I have a direct impact by even looking at this picture. Okay, like it's funny because Jacob, what you're describing. So you know everyone's name. You are showing boots on the ground, like I literally see like the money flying from my bank account overseas on a plane and landing here. This is where I see the money landing. Okay, I don't see it going through bureaucracy. I don't see it, being allocated here, a little bit here, let's sprinkle it. I see it going from a plane, my bank account, right down to the ground, and someone's going to consume medication that helps them fight malaria. It's going to have a mosquito a net that helps them. They're going to have a warm blanket that night because of the dollars that we give. So that's kind of like what this image shows me, and it's not too prettied up. Like there's no faking going on. Like if I look behind me, there is like some poles or something to sit on the ground. Like this is the front lines, right? This is where you want your money to go, the front lines, bro. Like come on. Like what are you doing in your life? It's like here's the front lines right here, And you know what? It can kind of, in a weird way, convert the work we do here, the entrepreneurship we do here, the hard work we do here, into impact. So a lot of times at work, when you work in an office, or you work at a laptop, or you work in a cubicle, or you're in sales, and you do all this work, all this sweat and grind, and yeah, you're trying to provide for your kids and stuff. You may think to yourself, I think it's very common. What's the reason I'm doing all? Am I just like working my tail off just to kind of like spend on a boat trip one day or something? Like what am I like? What am I doing with my life, kind of thing? And I don't really have that thought very often, but the reality is everyone thinks that sometimes they hit I'm having a birthday next week, and I'm like, oh, I'm 1 year older. Oh my gosh, like I'm getting old. What am I doing? Am I doing the right things? Am I going to die before I have an impact? This is a real question that people ask, because you can spend a season of your life grinding. That's okay. But if you're not giving some of that away and like allowing that work to have meaning, you're just grinding for nothing. You're grinding for no reason.
And Zach, our workers are the real boots on the ground. I remember there was a program we were doing, me and Steve, to 2 a.m. One of the best statements they said was like, we know you in America. You don't sleep because of us. You work hard. And here we are at 3 a.m. They know how hard we are working, but what is important is them. In that condition, AC, they are really boots on the ground. They are the heroes who we're talking about essentially saving lives. And you mentioned something important. When we leave this earth, what should we be remembered? What is the legacy? The legacy is not about how much money you have. The legacy is how many lives have you changed, whether internationally, domestically, locally, is how much impact have you made? How much you encourage people? As one of the lost boys, I travel across America. One of the things that many people who come to my life realize is how much I encourage them. A few occasions I remember when you keep talking about how blessed we are, and we are truly blessed. A student was having a difficult time, and they want to end their life, and they somehow found my YouTube channel or talking about Imagine a Journey, and she watched this, and later I met this student, and she came sobbing and crying, and I was like, why are you crying? She's like, you saved my life. I'm like, okay, you need to stop it. I'm not that powerful. There's a few people we know historically that has been documented, just raise people from the dead. One of them is Jesus, but it's not me. What do you mean I saved your life? He said, I almost killed myself, and because I thought I had it worse. But looking at your story, I was making a big deal out of nothing. So what we are trying to say here is we are also knowledgeable to not only helping the people of South Sudan, but helping one another by sharing the impact, what you're talking about, to share what can we do together. It's all about impacting one life. You're right. Money will go. I remember the Bible talk about this guy named Solomon. And I never understood why if I have a $1 billion, you see the needs, You see how much money we need in this world. And I would have to turn that down to get what we call wisdom. Yeah, wisdom is what we need. If you don't have money, you can make an impact. Money is not only the only thing. You can encourage, like I was encouraging. If you have money, you can also make an impact. There's a role for all of us to be considerate of one another. So back to you, Zach.
What you're saying is, even if you don't give money, you can share the story, which is cool, which I love. So you have impact. You can impact.
Each of
I'd be
us
like,
has a story. You have a story, Zach. Steve has a story. It's a matter of you and I, like we're sharing now. And the story doesn't have to be make sad to come from Africa. We are wonderfully and unique made. We have a purpose. Even this idea of Steve being interested in nonprofit, why? He has a passion. Yes, he would love to make money, but he wants to help us. I don't have this technology to do, and he does. You are just, if we want to be technical correct in a corporate world, transactional business as usual. Your only connection to Steve is your software. But what is the difference? It's the passion. It's that call to action. What is your purpose in life? And it's to impact people. Cool. Go ahead.
I love how Steve from Clover Sky Media, right, took this concept of the small business that was helping people and turned it international, right? Like that's just like, homie, if you are out there wondering, what am I supposed to be doing right now? There's a lot of things you can be doing, and just take action, move forward. Like a lot of things can happen to unlock for you. If you got some extra resources, hook up Jacob and his team, bro. It's going to go right to people who are sick. You're going to be buying some mosquito nets, for crying out loud. You might as well do it. The money's there anyways in your gosh dang account. Ain't doing nothing in there. Might as well do something. And then Steve and his team and you guys can send some more virtual tours of before and after. My hope is that more tents grow, more things grow. We're able to show after, right?
Oh,
raise this money, show after. That's what I want to see.
And
I want to see that.
we have even grand vision. We have a grand vision. Steve is very kind and humble. I like how you brought it up. Think about this. Why sometimes the difference between some of us who are philanthropists and some of you who are entrepreneur mindset is, you can have nice dream and nice things, but you got to figure out how to get money.
That's
and
true.
So you have the mindset of this business that, yes, you'll be blessed and you bless others. But here's what is important is innovation. Within innovation, who would have thought it's a new country? When I say, I don't even know if many people know where South Sudan is. I have to explain and Google. So that's number one. But for him to come with an idea and say, hey, I'm using this software, I think it will work, where the infrastructure, telecommunication, connectivity is down. That is a bold leadership. That is a bold move to see things from different lenses. And for us, we're like, it's not just saying you need to be there. The importance of technology, especially with this technology that he's using, the 360 tour, and the capability of your software, Zach, to transform this. If this is not changing life in many levels, I don't know what is. People just said, what is the connection between the software and the nonprofit? Well, here it is. I'm showing the donors where their money is going directly, like you just said, directly. Here's a big vision. We are now in the 10, and it's another challenge because we are in the 10 and the medication get hot. So we are actually been given a land to construct a semi-permanent structure. But let's go back to the basic. I cannot construct that. This is why I request the 10 from UNICEF, WHO, World Health Organization. This is temporarily. This is like a baby step. A baby is born, you crawl, you walk, you run. So we are the baby step, meaning we receive these 96,000 people in a crowded area. So what is number one thing? Provide them essential health services. provision of health services? Under the tree or the tent? Which one is better? It's a tent. This is the best thing we have now. Work with what you have. Oh, now guess what? In this tent, women, children are being born under the tree. So now we request another tent.
Mhm.
And in this tent, women are going to deliver this under the tent. Oh, children are not being vaccinated. So now we are providing what is called EPI, expanded program on immunization. And now we can see prenatal care. So in life, we are capable to be resilient. This is all about resiliency. It's adaptation. This is the best thing we have. Now, if we want to be fancy, and this is a luxury, it's a dream, we will construct the maternity ward. It's something in our planning, but back to that, being grateful. We're talking about soap. We're talking about basic. You can have, let's put it in a different term. Some people like to eat out, right? If you cannot live above your mean, we cannot ask for the construction when we cannot treat patient under the tree, because that's the best thing we have. We cannot ask for the hospital when we don't have a tent.
Mhm.
Now, it's not the pleasant, right? Just like any other budget constraint. When I used to live in a refugee camp, I don't even have $1. Fast forward, I came to America. I was able to work hard, $5.20. I'm a rich man now, but I'm living with what I have.
Mhm.
So realistically, whether we know it or not, economically, you got to deal with what you have. And what we have right now is 10. It's the best hospital. It's the best clinic. It's the best thing we can have.
Well, I love that because what you're doing is you're sharing the life cycle of your organization, right? So just like a software startup, we got to start off crawling too, right? Sometimes we're not crawling anymore. But I guess my point is, like, your needs, you don't need to build a building right now. You want a building, that would be great. But right now you're trying to get gloves and trying to get some medicine, trying to have a tent where the ladies can have birth to their children. Holy cow. You don't need to go start breaking ground, building dozers over for a building. Let's get a tent for the ladies having birth tomorrow, right? So like that makes sense. And I love that, bro. What's immediately in front of us? Like that I love. And that's like what donors want to help with anyways, like it's, so, I mean, I love this. I love it all. Okay. Well, we're going to wrap this up. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to probably add a link, add all your links below this video, not only on YouTube, but also wherever I possibly can. Okay, Facebook, our Facebook group, etc. So if you're listening to this, CloudPano is our software. CloudPano. That's what CloudPano is. We're not talking about CloudPano right now. Right now, it's about this new country in South Sudan with 96,000 displaced people and a man named Jacob who hiked 2,000 miles to make it out so that he can turn around and give back. He's asking for $113,000, and he ain't asking us or asking you. He's just budgeting the bare minimum of what they need. Holy cow! Gloves, another tent, mosquito nets, beds. Like this stuff. I mean, this should be a single. We should be hitting a single right now and paying for all this. This is what I feel like in my head. But anyways, my point is this. I love what you're doing. I love you. I love your story. I love Steve at Clover Sky Media, who is going to consult whatever nonprofit needs help with this. Obviously, CloudPano can help as well too. And then Jacob, I really appreciate your time and your passion and your effort, and just where you're coming from, where your heart is. It shows me that truly anybody, even a couple people, can have a huge impact on the world. And I'm very humbled to meet you guys. I'm very humbled to meet you. You don't know where your company or your software is going to have impact, and the fact that we've had impact at all already. Obviously, I was crying earlier, so I'm already excited about that. But I'm really excited about your future vision. I want to be involved pretty intimately. I want to consider us friends now, and I have some people I know, bro. So we'll see if we can get this first goal hit. All right.
Yes, and I'm coming to Houston.
All right, let's do it. All right, bro.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'll see you later. Thanks so much
Hey.
to you for connecting everything and doing all this. You are the
Hey,
inspiration
no,
that
thank
caused
you.
all this.
And
All right.
and
No,
Zach,
thank you, and yeah.
yeah, thank you. If you can text me your email and his phone number, I'm excited, brother. The way you see the vision, I couldn't stop talking to you, and it's many people don't see the vision, and my brother Steve, you mentioned something. I keep saying we are blessed. It's being authentic. One thing that is always good is be who you are. Authenticity is what I see you who you are. It's Steve. There's nothing is sugarcoat. I can't wait. I can't wait to. I have more ideas how we can expand, especially in the international organization. That let's continue this real presentation in real person, because I know other users, and we are thinking about Steve, if we can invest in a basic equipment right now. And Yai, we just expanded to another area called Panyagor is there, and our clinic. And to show this, we will expand. Sharing is caring, right? If we are showing this to our donors, there's so many other nonprofit in South Sudan. Just to put it into perspective, 90% of health services is being provided by nonprofit in South Sudan. So USAID, and as I'm speaking, this is offline. I just got contacted by the vice president of South Sudan. They are coming for the General Assembly. They are coming here, and the Minister of Health is coming, and so I'm gonna be trying to organize. Talk to you, Zach, if anybody has connection around the DC area. But we want to explode this. What I'm excited is being practical, brothers. Just show how your software is helping, and it's truly helping. And then show what we do for this. I just amazed about your vision to see the authenticity through us that you didn't even know. If you knew how we budget this, it's so authentic. It's the soap.
Mhm.
It's the this. It's reality. It's going directly. If I get 113,000 tomorrow, you will see all those buildings. You will see exactly what we're going to do, and it's back and forth. So I know we want to help, and I'm having confidence now we're going to raise this 113, but I want us to think big and share the big platform like you and I are doing this, whether in person, virtually, and then we increase the number of users for the software, especially Steve, another thing. I don't know. I'm just so excited.
I love this. I'm excited too. Cool. Well, let's wrap it up for right now. I'm gonna connect with you after this as well too. I'm gonna get all your links and URLs and all the donation links. We'll put it below the video so people can quickly grab that and make an impact. Like you have a quick, direct impact, boots on the ground. Stop what you're doing right now if you're watching this video. If you're finishing this up, pull over your car if you're watching it while you're driving and donate. Okay, do it.
Thank you.
Don't mess around. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Thank you.